Hello, everybody. Oh, look, she is the most amateur YouTuber. She hasn't even got the mic ready. Alrighty, take two. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the fan cams. Apologies, I have lost my voice. There was a lot of yelling happening tonight. It is the fan cams. B Carlton. How are we all? In the chat, I've been highly amused by the chat so far. Thank you for all being here. How are we feeling? My overawing feeling is what could have been if we had a defender or two. Imagine if we just had Ridley and Mackay or Ridley and Reed, or what could have been. What could have been in this game? I am so proud of them. I am so proud of them because how in God's green earth did Carlton not win that by 50 fucking points? It is, I mean, they are at full health. They are supposed to be a top 4 side, top 6 side, top 8 side at least. And we had absolutely we were scraping the barrel, weren't we? Tell me your feelings. So many feelings. I'm going to pop the link first off before I get overwhelmed. I'm going to pop the link in the chat. Oh, here we go. There you go. There it is. Jump on, have a chat with me. Please do most of the talking. My voice is struggling. I've got a cup of tea, been on the vodkas all night, so hopefully this is going to help. All right, who have we got here? First of all, Moby, you're going to make me cry. Thank you so much. I love you. I actually love you. And you have been such a huge supporter of mine, and I'm so grateful for you. So thank you. If you're new, you will notice that I now have this feature. You will see it in your comment box. If you'd like to contribute in any small way to help you enjoy the channel more, it is a small way that you can do so. Thank you, Moby. It's just touching. Thank you. Bomber Boy, I absolutely love you back. I know you said you're on a bus. I mean, we'll be going for a bit, so feel free to jump on when you get home. Mick, love you. Thank you. Really appreciate that. LJ, let's hope. What am I at? Somebody tell me. I haven't looked. I've tried not to keep looking. So I don't, I'm not watching the clock, basically. They say that if you watch a clock, it never turns. So I'm trying that. Who else is here? Hi, Mariella. How are you? I feel the same. I do. I really, but I also share your frustration, Cooper. Why do we fall asleep in the first quarter? Why do we do that? Why do we make ourselves go out to such, have to catch up? It's just, Snazzy Shoes, how are you? Disappointed, yes, but very proud. Carlton, exactly. And then we made them struggle for at least half a game. I'll try and only mention the umps. Oh, my God. Did the fuckery not start early with the deliberate I'm sorry. Does that only get paid against Essendon? Menzies is probably sitting back saying, what the hell? Because I cannot tell you. I mean, yeah, look, I'll be honest. I thought it was a little too obvious from Martin, but it happens 65 times in every round. How come it is only pulled out against us? So the fuckery was there early. True? Who else have we got? Mick, Snazzy, Muzzy. How are you all? Brett. The effort was there. It's not our fault. Yes, the little green people. They were in some fine form tonight. Oh, Andrew, exactly. Oh, facts. Missed the memo that umpires shall apply the rush behind rule only when the Bombers players do it. Preach. Ugh. All right. Hey, Jeremy, you legend. Thank you. Okay. How about for this chat? No more. Hey, Pommy. Oh, no. I don't know what this is in relation to, but you're here, Pommy. Jeremy, I want to break my rule and I want to say I love Pommy. I'm sorry. Hi, Maddie. Hey, how are you, Langy? You said you were only coming on. You were going to come to the loser fan cams, and we are the loser. But I don't know that we're going to be raging. Let's see.
Mm.
LJ,
Hey, how you going, Fiona?
how are you? Welcome to your first debut, Bomber Banter.
Yeah, I thought I'd jump on. Yeah,
I'm so glad you did. Talk to
yeah.
me.
How did you see the game tonight? I've got to ask because honestly, I'm pretty
It,
positive to be honest for the most part.
how
I don't
did
know
you
if it
feel after
helped.
the first quarter?
Yeah, first quarter. To be honest, I don't know why, but I still just based off last week,
Did you?
I still had that sort of mindset where I'm like, I could see them coming back.
Did you?
Um, yeah, I even said I said to Dad because he was
Raging.
ready to leave the couch, and I'm just like, I was like, we're just gonna stick it out, like. Because the belief from these boys is, yeah, it's insane. I
They got some
honestly,
heart, huh? They got some heart.
yeah, yeah. I think we just got to take a step back and realize, we've had how many key outs have we got? Probably 10, maybe I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got 20 meters, like in height.
Yeah,
That's
20 meters. Yeah, I
ridiculous.
love that stat. Yeah, 20 meters of height out. Yeah, that's. I mean, what can we expect?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with how it went. But
What
yeah, as you said,
yeah, I thought it was really frustrating that we keep doing what's your theory? Why do you feel like we actually why are we having first quarters like this? Do you have a theory? Or do you and your dad, do you think you know why that's happening?
I honestly don't know. Well, early in the year, I felt like were our first quarters bad? I can't remember. They might have been.
It might have been, yeah, but not like this,
Wasn't this
almost
bad? No, it's just been the
yeah,
last couple of weeks where it's been, yeah,
yeah,
awful.
yeah,
Because the last three quarters, I think it was 10 goals to 5, from memory. So we completely
yes,
outclassed them.
yeah,
Keeping them to 5 goals and 3 quarters of footy is is incredible considering I think our best defender would have been probably Jaden Laverty, who probably doesn't even
exactly.
make our side
Yeah,
realistically, if we're being honest.
exactly.
So
Yeah, I think they think what maybe the chat can confirm, but was it 3 goals they only kicked in the second half? Like,
yeah,
is that right?
that
Or
sounds
was
yeah.
that is ridiculous. That is such a testament to us.
Yeah,
We was it
that's crazy.
what was our best quarter? Was it the third?
Oh, yeah, I'd say the third quarter. Yeah, we definitely got on
Yeah.
top of them the third. The second we bring it back, kind of kept
Yep.
them, which was great. But yeah, third quarter was
Yep.
definitely our best, which is
Yeah.
which was great to see. But
It felt
yeah, I
like
don't know.
it felt like in the third quarter we were just like stuff trying to chip it around. We just
Yeah,
did exactly what we did last week. We went the 45-degree angle mores, kind of, hit a bit of that run and carry, the speed, and it just
mm,
looked like they were just like, again, the shackles were off. And that's what happened last week.
yeah, we just took the game on. I'm not sure
Yes.
why we're not able to do that in the first, which is frustrating. It's like we hobble over to the first quarter, and then from there on, the game's on, which
Yeah.
is great. But at
But
the same time,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just because we're a young team. I'm
maybe.
not entirely sure. But
Yeah. Maybe they take, I mean, I don't know. Is there a way? I
yeah.
don't know if you've played football in your, young life,
No,
but
I'm not
is
sure what the mental. Yeah, I don't know. I'm
yeah, the
honestly not
mental
sure.
side of it.
Yeah, I think that is what it is, but, I don't know. Anyway, if we had
Who do
Zach
you
Reed,
think
though, genuinely, it would have
yeah,
been
go,
a
sorry.
different game. No offense, but I reckon
Say that
Zach
again.
Reed or a Ridley would be the difference, if I'm being completely honest, but
Agree. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. Who do you think hey, LJ, who do you think started like who do you think inspired the run and inspired this the I guess the different pattern of play that we started?
I don't I re Peter Wright, that goal at the
It
end
was
of the half, the energy from Peter Wright this year has been really impressive. Like, you can see him trying to get everyone up and about, which,
yes.
you love to see it. It's what you want out of
Love
your
it.
senior your players. So,
Yes.
I reckon it started with, the big Ginge, definitely.
Yes, the
Which
big
is great to see
hinge.
the big Ginge, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love him, he's a great player.
Yeah, I reckon he and Mardo bring the energy, don't they? They
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 definitely do.
really,
And with our Draper,
and it
we need them to
what a
keep that
good
energy.
point because it's usually Draper. Great point.
Yeah, a big factor of Draper is his energy, which I think is a huge in sports, a huge factor. You need
Yes.
that in your game. So without Drapes,
Yeah.
that's a big part of why I was disappointed to see him go down, just for an
Yeah.
energy factor. You see him get all the boys up and about,
Yeah.
every
It's a
game.
great
So
point. Mm.
yeah,
It's a great point. Yeah,
No, it
such a good,
was
and especially with a young team, like, they can drop their heads, and so having an energetic leaders, because it's not really in Merritt's personality to be really
no,
externally, energetic, but Martin brings that. Yeah.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, Nick Martin, he might be my favorite player. He's working
Yeah.
with he's been incredible. How'd you see Merritt's game though? I'd like to know because
I thought they moved him up on the ball. I could be wrong, but I felt
yeah,
like they moved him up around the ball in the second half. And I thought he laid some really, would you believe? And sorry, Chad, I didn't tell you all. I don't think you were here, LJ, on the live stream on the team selection night. Nobody won the cookies because
oh,
nobody picked that bloody Adam Sard was going to kick the first goal, and nobody picked
no,
that Zach Merritt was going to lead the tackles across the whole ground. So
wow, yeah,
I thought Zach Merritt really came to play
he really did,
in the
yeah.
second half.
For sure in the second half. He had a couple of tackles where they were goal saving, legitimately.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
How did you
he
see? Did you watch the game from home,
from home,
LJ?
yeah, I did. Were you at the
So
game as
how
well?
did? Sorry.
Yeah, I watched it from home. Yeah.
Okay. Did How did you see? How did you see the Goldstein and TDK
I thought first half TDK got the better of him
dominate?
comfortably, but
Yeah.
second half I thought it was 50-50. Yeah. They were he
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I didn't think he dominated TDK in the second half.
Yeah.
Which is all you can ask from Goldstein. I mean, he's yeah. I definitely thought he's probably hobbling to the bye at the moment, but
Yes.
I mean, did we even think he was going to be playing this year? So realistically, he's definitely doing a good job. So
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
can't ask too much more from him for the most part.
Yeah. I completely
Yeah.
agree. And now the one topic that I'm really afraid to bring up because I'm afraid of the answer, but you watch from home, so you heard the commentary.
Mm.
How many weeks is Durham looking at?
David King, David King said 2 to 3 in his brain, but I would, I don't know. I would say 1 to 2. I would reckon. I reckon 1. If I'm being completely honest.
Oh,
Um,
far out. I was worried it was going to be like 5, 6.
no. It's
Oh,
just one of those unfortunate situations where he's going for the bump, and Chera, I believe it was on
yeah,
his way down, and it just happened to hit him in the head instead of the body. It was really unfortunate. That, it wasn't intentional, but he didn't get concussed, so that's a
that's
big
good.
reason. If he gets
Yeah.
concussed, yes, all of a sudden it's four
Okay.
4 weeks or whatever it is. But
Okay. Yep.
because of that, I reckon it might not be too long. But I mean, let's be real. Next week we're not going to win anyway. It's Geelong. It wasn't going to be a win anyway. Um,
True.
so we can
And you
book
know
that.
what? At least we have depth in the midfield.
True. Yeah, that is one area where we can allow an injury or a suspension, which is
Yeah.
great. But
So
yeah,
do you think this means Sardis gets a game?
it has to, right? I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
who else would come through. I think that's
I
it.
hope they don't bring
And
Sheely in above
yeah. Oh,
Sardis.
also, what about Parrish? How did you think about him? That
Oh,
was
what a game back. Was it 10
yeah,
clearances? He led the ground. Like,
yeah.
insane.
Although the one thing about Parrish, because I don't like how because Martin didn't get to play as much midfield as we would have probably hoped.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And I just
mm.
feel, no offense to Parrish, but I just feel Martin's a bit more damaging. I mean, you look at these last couple of
Yep.
weeks where he's in the midfield, he was
Yes.
probably best on, right? I mean,
Yeah, the difference.
yeah, what is it, 35 plus and 2 goals? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
ridiculous, insane
yeah,
numbers. But Parrish, of course, yeah, he was great, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just maybe at the end of the year, we might need to look at moving him on just for just to look at our
yeah.
list profile. I mean, we're a very young team. I don't know if long term, if
Yeah,
he's
a few people around me tonight were saying something of the same ilk, but he's so good in extracting the ball, but then
mm,
when they close space on him, he's so slow to dispose of it. He doesn't
yeah,
have the ability to just off a little quick kick or a quick handball. He's very slow, and he's gonna, the game's only getting quicker, and so it's gonna
100%.
catch up with him faster.
Yep. No, you're definitely right. I mean, yeah, I do love him as a player.
Maybe it's just first game back. Maybe he will pick up.
Yeah, let's not be
Me.
too harsh. This is his first game back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It definitely wasn't bad at all, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I thought it was a good first game back.
Yeah, for sure. I reckon our midfield held out pretty well, especially the likes of Will Setterfield as well.
I think we pretty much broke even in clearances, stoppage, and centre clearances. So our midfield certainly held up. I mean, let's be honest. Our undoing was the backline. It was such a makeshift. They had no idea where they were running to, who were they leading to. They looked so confused and lost, and it is understandable. It is so understandable.
Yeah, 100%. And you can't even blame them at all. At all. To be fair though, I don't think Carlton didn't even hit the 80-point mark. So you know what, we'll take it for the most part.
Bloody hell, we haven't even spoken about that chat. And LJ, we haven't even spoken about that. What was the score? What did they hit? They didn't even hit 80 points.
They didn't even hit 80 points against, if you told me that, I would have been so happy. Even if we kicked 5-6 goals and you told me we'd keep Carlton under 80 points, I would have been like, you know what, that's a great effort from the back line.
That is insipid from Carlton. If there are any Carlton people, and they will be here trying to troll us, I'm sorry. With respect, that is insipid. Like
100%.
This backline was nothing.
A lot of Carlton fans probably wouldn't even known who a lot of our backline was, to be honest.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they wouldn't have had Zach Johnson. They're not going to know who that is. They're not going to know who these players are. So for the most part, I'm pretty happy with that. And you know, Luan, his first game for the club, I didn't think he was quite ready, to be honest. But you know what? He held his own. So you gotta be happy with that.
Yeah, 100%. Well, LJ, it was amazing having you on. You are welcome anytime, every time. I hope I see you again. You were fantastic. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you. I see you in the chats and I absolutely love it. So thank you.
I'm happy to see you. Thanks for doing this as well. Like I think a lot of Essendon fans have been craving for this sort of communal aspect.
Good. I'm glad. I mean,
thanks.
Always open to anything more you want to see. And as I said, you are welcome here anytime. And your dad, if he needs a vent too, he's welcome on as well.
Okay. All right. See ya.
All right. Good night. Good night, LJ. See ya. Hello, Sam.
Hey, Fiona. How's it going?
I'm pretty good. How are you? Yeah, I know many Carlton fans will be wanting me to say I'm sad and depressed, but sorry, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. It was that was a funny game.
Okay.
It was me sitting in the Carlton members, and it was just like there was basically group of Carlton fans sitting right in front of me, and then just in the next section, like maybe the seat next to mine, just a couple of Essendon fans, and it was just back and forth kind of for like a good 20 minutes. And like as much as it was all factual, you just couldn't stop pissing yourself inside, and you don't want to do it too much, and you're also not going too well.
Yeah.
And Carlton had the handy lead back then. And didn't want to go too overboard. But anyways, so that was a funny moment from the game.
Were they respectful, or were they antagonistic? Carlton fans?
Nothing physical, of course. That would be pretty bad, but it was just back and forth talking. Banter, Bombers banter.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, great. Blue and Bomber banter. Okay, we can handle a bit of banter. Yeah.
Done nothing, but I won't say anything else.
Tell me, what was their reaction when it was all falling to shit and we were looking like, what was their reaction? Were they just like, here we are again? Tell me the feels. Tell me the roller coaster ride of emotions they were going through.
It was like Caramba from The Simpsons.
I'm sorry, JW. Oh my God, this made me laugh so much. Oh my God. I was in the Carlton members with the nuffies too. The nuffiest nuffs, and they were bursting blood vessels. Oh my God, that is so fucking funny. JW, what was your take, Sam?
Just you just always love a little bit of banter, and you just let them do their thing. You know, like the show's going on in the background, but there's also another show going on right in front of you. It's just all back and forth, a little bit of talking, a little bit of chit chatter, a little bit of I'll give you shit. Next one gives you shit. It's just it's good fun. These sort of games where
But surely they were panicking, right?
That's I like the fans. Fans were panicking.
Yeah, the Carlton fans.
Oh, of course, absolutely. I'd be shitting myself if a bunch of Essendon fans were coming up at me for just factual stuff, as I just said.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, I think some Carlton fans think that maybe we're a little bit deluded. I try and keep it real. That's just me, but I don't know about other people. But anyway, about the game, I think these slow starts are really becoming a bit of a trend, and we cannot let that continue. Because I think next week against Geelong, if we start like that, it's going to be all over from the beginning, just like the Bulldogs game. So we just can't keep doing that. But I did like the spirit, the fact that we were able to come back into the game, but it just felt like we sort of left it a little bit too late in the end. Similar to the Brisbane game, just sort of left it a little bit too late. Although the Brisbane game was different because they kind of ran away with it late, but I felt that tonight was a missed opportunity because Carlton weren't in good form going into the game, to be honest. And I was throughout the week, I was saying to a lot of people at work, and it was basically me saying we had the game against Brisbane where we were honourable in defeat, noble in defeat, and we put in a good effort against the reigning premiers. But now you have to win, and now go out and win, and it's not good enough otherwise if you don't do that.
Do you think, I mean, there's obviously logical reasons, but were there any moments that you felt tonight like the effort was questionable or anything like that? Because I think if we are seeing consistent effort and intent, I mean, can we really be asking too much more? And I'm being devil's advocate here. Can we really be asking too much more of them?
I think
and chat, you tell me too. Do you think it's reasonable?
I think you can only play with what you've got. And look, I wrote down some notes. You can only really play with what you have, and if those, and you kind of get to see those sort of fringe players that maybe wouldn't be part of the best 22, see how they can sort of stand up when the game's not necessarily going well. Like, it's a good skill to have when you're not going well. What are you going to do about it? Because that's what kind of separates you from being really, really good at what you're doing to then not. But look, otherwise, I always felt that we would come back. And that
you're like LJ. You guys are loving that. We all of a sudden we have this faith. Where has this faith come from? I didn't feel like we were going to come back. Maybe I'm a little too hurt, but good on you both.
I just felt all along that we're going to have our moment, and we're going to come back. And I just feel like we need more guys like Dursman and Guelphy, just people that are going to lift, and less guys like Gresham, who are not going to do the team thing. Pass it off. Don't take it upon yourself. Pass it off. Do the team thing, and then that's where we go from there. I do want to see him dropped, even though he kicked a few goals. But that's just me being honest. Simple.
Well, John agrees with you, and so do a few others. And I have to admit, I'm getting a bit sick of him deciding not to turn up in the first half and then all of a sudden in the second half he decides there's a game of football on and he decides to turn up. I'm getting a bit sick of that because he's one of our more experienced players and he needs to be setting a better example.
Definitely a better example for the young players. And when you're losing the game, and this is where I kind of look at the coaching, is that when you're losing the game, surely you would just, I mean, a lot of teams do this, but when you're losing the game and something's not quite necessarily going to plan, surely you would have a bit of logic and say, this is the reason. You would identify the reason why we're not going so well, and that you would do anything possible, anything you can in your power to eliminate that. And I don't want to see any more of these sort of, we get the ball, we're going forward, inside forward 50, or it could even be in any part of the ground. I don't know who, it doesn't matter. And you just kind of, you look around with the ball, like a lot of, I see this, I saw it tonight, and I've seen it in the past few weeks where when we are losing and not playing well, rather than taking the mark and sort of looking around, you're darting, you're looking for a player, and then in the end, you just kind of make that split-second decision, you kick the ball, like take it upon yourself, run with the ball a little bit, look for someone shorter. Like I get a bit fed up with that sort of thing, and that's sort of something that's something that I was sort of thinking about, just throughout the game. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I do agree with you, and I think, sorry, I can't find the comment, but somebody said that whilst we are a young group, our skills are still very, very poor. And sorry, I feel bad not giving the yeah, Mitch, exactly. It's kind of this, you get more critical of the leaders making mistakes. Exactly. So, whilst Martin had a great game, some of his turnovers, Caldwell butchered the ball a little bit. Love him. He's one of my favourites. Dursma, his mark and goal at the end there, like I was up on my feet. I almost pulled a hammy, but he's missed marks and dropped marks and, just little off kicks that, you just cannot be carrying in a team of young babies who are going to be doing that. They can do those things, but the upper echelon, the more experienced players cannot be doing those things. I just think we cannot be accepting that of them. And as I said, when I went to training a few months ago, those missed skills at training were just kind of like, it's a missed drop mark, a missed hit kick with no pressure. And it was just accepted. And it just feels like, it feels like those habits are happening. And I'm sorry, I can't find the other comment. But whoever you were that said Martin and Caldwell in terms of, making their skill errors, I'm giving you credit. Because, I totally agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I also feel like when you're not necessarily playing at your best, like we were in the first quarter, you kind of have to go back and like I've played footy before. I played when I was younger. You kind of just have to go back to the basics, and you have to, find someone to kick to, find someone to pass the ball to, chase your opponent. And get in good positions, and you then also have to go back to the things that you do in training that necessarily you do well. Okay, if something's not going to plan, or as you say, skill error, you go back into training during the week and you work on it, and you keep working on it, and you work towards it, and say, hey, like by this time we want this area of our game to be worked on, and then all will be sweet, and we can go from there. That's just sort of
I completely agree, Sam, and it's something that I think we're gonna, and no doubt, and this is the faith I have in the future and the bigger picture. I have no doubt that they know that's something that has to be worked on. But right now, probably in the kind of list of issues we have, it's probably not as, quick that we need to fix. We have other issues we need to fix quicker than that. So I have no doubt that they know. But thank you so much, Sam. You've been incredible, as usual. As usual, a wonderful supporter of Bomber Banter. Loved having you. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, and I'll do my best to come on after the Geelong game, that's for sure.
Brilliant. Good. Love to see you. Thank you, Sam.
Take care, Fiona.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Coanda, you are so lovely. That is lovely to hear. Thank you. In this mug, and generally every mug at night, is a peppermint tea. So I find it quite calming. I used to have green tea at night, but the caffeine, and I have enough espressos during the day, so I've transferred to the calming peppermint tea after being on the vodkas tonight. So, alrighty, Mitch.
Hey, how we doing?
Welcome to your first debut on Bomber Banter. I'm so happy. So many debuts tonight. How are you?
Thank you. Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Were you at the game?
Nah, I was at a mate's house.
Oh, yes.
Keeping warm and just enjoying not being in there and feeling nervous the whole night. So it was good.
And enjoying, not losing and being. Although, hang on, did it rain? I don't think it rained.
It looked wet or dewy, but I don't think there was much of a downpour. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So tell me, what did you see from watching on TV? Warm, cozy on the couch.
Yeah.
Start from the top.
Yeah, the first quarter was just rough. I mean, I didn't have high expectations, but I just wanted some effort. It was good to see Lual get a goal. That sort of gave me a little bit of a pep in my step, and I was like, well, that's a positive. Most people were saying he's not really up to it at VFL level, but him actually come in there and impose himself. You just want someone to put in some effort. His physicality was great. I was really happy with that. He was happy to knock some bodies, and I love a bit of intensity and aggression, so it was good to see.
And you know what? Like my biggest, I don't know about you, but my biggest bugbear of his, and probably my biggest critique, I should say, is his fumbliness in the VFL, his inability to pick up a clean ball. Often when he gets a handball, it's a fumble, and often like he turns it over because he fumbles it. But I didn't see much of that tonight, which was great.
Yeah, it seemed like he had a bit of composure. And it wasn't required for him to do a whole lot, but he was there for the 1%ers, and he looked like he supported the boys and they got around him. So it was good. That's
such a great point. Quote that shit. He was there for the 1%ers. That is great. What a great thing to bring for your debut.
Thank you.
To show your team that you were there for that. For you and him. Both on debut.
I'll take it. I'll take the 1% of them as well.
Yeah, great point. I'm glad you brought him up. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, on the downside, I guess, I'm just disappointed with Perkins. I just want him to be something that I just don't know if he's capable of doing. He has the build for it. It seems like he has the attitude sometimes, but he just loses the physicality, and when it comes to chasing your opponent, he's just not there. He's just watching. So that's my low point for the night. The
defense just, it's a worry. Yeah. Is he getting because my opinion on him has been, do we have depth in that area? Is he a consequence of just having no depth to replace him? But now I'm getting to a point of who the fuck cares? Bring in Oscar Smart, bring in another small, like literally, or bring in anyone, because at this point I don't think it's doing his development and his attitude, more his attitude any good, just getting games.
Yeah, and I think that's, I don't know, maybe how junior footy is these days for all these private school kids that are just required to stat pad to get exposure for the draft, whereas they're not accountable for tackles or, defensive 50 efforts or anything that stops transition ball. They're just, I'm just going to be out the front trying to get an easy touch and kick goal to make my stats. So that's why I like these VFL guys getting picked up, or anyone in these mid-season, because they have to work for it. They have to show something that the AFL teams don't have, and that's that grit and determination to work hard to get onto a list. Whereas these guys just glide through the private school setup, and no blemishes, no tackles laid, but 40 touches, so I'm getting drafted. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and pardon me, I think it's glaring for him. At no point has he had to been made to work or earn his position really hard. Jones went back to the VFL, worked hard. Even Guelphy plays like he's fighting for his spot. Some of Guelphy's intensity, he can go missing, but some of his efforts, I look at a player and I think, that we're collecting some small forwards now, and maybe you're under the spotlight. Even your likes of Nick Cox, say what you want about him, but they've kept him in the VFL, and maybe because he had to be. But at least if he gets back into the team, he's going to know what it's like to fight your way back. Perkins has not been through adversity. Zach Reed has been through adversity to try and get back in here. So you don't take it for granted. It's all a mindset for him. That's why I think it's not about him being a whipping boy or anything. It's more about his attitude. He does not know. And that's all part of a development of a player's kind of resilience and being,
Yeah, for sure. I also think you're just drafting players that aren't necessarily suited to those positions. I don't really recall what Archie's position was when he was drafted. Was he just like a midfielder, forward, or just that hybrid athlete that, could be anything but could also be nothing? And that's the risk you sort of take with those players.
Chat, tell us, what was he actually drafted at? Felix, if you're here, tell us, what was he actually drafted as? What did he play his junior footy as? I know he didn't play a lot because of COVID in those years, but what did he actually technically get drafted at?
Yeah, because I can't really recall.
Where do you think his best position is?
Well, they suited him for the stringer role, and I'm like, well, he's not really getting much midfield time because that's the one position that we seem to have players just being able to roll through at all times. But then you can't have him in the midfield with someone like Parrish and then possibly Merritt, because they aren't as accountable. That's why Setterfield's so important, or Durham's so important, because they will look at their opposition player before they look at the ball, and they make such a difference to, Caldwell being able to break free, or, Merritt to get a clearance, or Parrish to get that clearance.
Mitch, you know what you're talking about, mate. You're just bringing the facts. So, okay, Scotty's confirming it was a half forward in junior footy.
Right.
And would you call that a tough role to, I don't know. I don't buy that. I think that's an easy way out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy position to play, but all you have to do is present, and it just seems he gets stuck in what he knows. Well, he doesn't even know what he's doing, it looks like, half the time. So, and Guelphy's another one. I'm pretty sure he's playing midfield in the waffle when we picked him up, and he's sort of just had to adapt to that forward defensive role. And look, credit to him, he's done well. I was out on him, a couple of seasons ago, and I was like, nah, he's just not going to make it. But I think it was that game against GWS where he played that defensive role on Whitfield, and he ended up kicking a couple of goals as well. And I was like, what's this? Like, this is it changes the dynamic of your forward line.
Absolutely. He has, because he has that ability. He can find the ball, and defenders are not going to, and opposition defense coaches are not going to put time into him. They don't think he's a weapon. But if you can shut down a player and hit the scoreboard for one or two, I mean, fuck, you take that every week. Here's a spot every week. And even if you just, I don't think he kicked a goal last week, but even if you just curtail or half the Zorkos of the world's influence, I'm still taking that.
Yeah, and he just puts his body on the line, and that's all you can ask for him. So, and it seems like, the small forwards, the best ones in the league, are the ones that can deter their opposition defender from having an impact on the game and hit the scoreboard. I think Ben Keys is like the ideal person at the moment that I watch, and I go, geez, I'd love to have someone like that in the forward line, because he's physical. He'll take his defender out of the game and then hit the scoreboard as well.
What do you think about this?
I mean, what Why not at this point?
At this point, what have we got to lose if we're not going to drop him?
Yeah. Yeah.
But honestly, like, if he has no defensive accountability in the forward half, is this just a disaster? Is this just disaster written all over it, or?
Yeah, I don't know. It concerns me that would be an option. But the thing is, what if he goes back to the VFL? What do? They play him straight in the midfield, don't they? So he gets a full seconds game in the midfield. So
it's so true. That's exactly where he goes.
From it. It's kind of pointless, isn't it?
Shit, that is such a good point, because that's exactly where you go to get touch.
He's just in the abyss. The poor bloke just can't find a spot to sit and work on his ilk.
Yeah. All right. Now I feel like we're piling on him. So what's your next point?
Yeah.
What else you got? What did you? What was like? What? Who do you think? I'll ask you what I asked LJ. Who do you think started who ignited the spark after the first quarter?
I just love Nick Martin so much. I can't not talk about him. I even get all my mates who don't even go vest, and I get them on board. I'm just watch him do something magical that if any A grader did that doesn't get the credibility that he does. Dacos did what he did down the wing, flick the ball up to himself, and then get the 1-2 and get a goal assist. Like, everyone be raving about it, but Nick Martin just takes it in his stride, and you watch him. I literally want a Nick Martin cam where we can watch him from the back half, just slowly trudge through the middle of the ground, and he'll be in the end either getting the goal or handballing it off to someone to have a shot. So for me, he's like our most influential player. I can't knock him on anything. He'll make some boo-boos, but so does Merritt. And, those players will change the game. It might make a mistake here and there, but those kicks will either stop us from going from one side to the other and just kicking around and getting nowhere. And they'll just slice one through the middle. And it will either result in us kicking a goal or the opposition kicking a goal. But you got to take those chances.
Yeah. Yeah. I think his fitness and the way he is so smart with when he runs and when he doesn't, he reads the ball so well. And what we were saying before, just brings the energy as well. He and Peter Wright just are so important. It's so underestimated, that encouragement and energy that those two, encourage with such a young group. And I feel it's underrated. And he certainly is. I mean, if he has not already got his name in the All-Australian squad, there's something really wrong.
Yeah. I think as a close second would have to be Dersma. His efforts are just unrelenting. He just will track back and intercept a mark or intercept a ball, right in front of goal. And then he'll be at the other end, taking a mark and having a shot at goal. And he dropped a few tonight, which was disappointing, but it's just the fact that he's always there. I just love that he puts in the effort. Popped his shoulder out, just knocked it back in and went back to work. Who does that? There's not many modern day footballers that can do that.
Not at all. I mean, does he? Clearly, our rehab group and our rehab group team need help. Does he want to help?
Yeah, he knocks some hamstrings back into place or something.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. That's unbelievable. He did that on the field, didn't he?
Yeah, just gave it a bit of a shimmy and.
That's ridiculous.
Crazy.
It's ridiculous. How did I feared that the TDK was going to really get ascendancy in this game, and he absolutely did.
Yeah, that was my concern going in. I just feel like Goldie's just going to be running around like an old dog, just trying to keep up with him.
Yeah.
Look, he put in some effort, and Goldie's going to compete every time. And I feel like he got to TDK eventually because he was like, this guy just keeps showing up. He might not win every contest, or he's probably won 1 out of 5, but he just shows up and just keeps going. And I think that it might have tilted the tide a little bit in the end, because TDK was like, how does this bloke just keep showing up? Because I felt like Goldie was playing majority ruck. Peter Wright only, pinch hit here and there because we needed him so much as a forward target. Just because Caddy was struggling a little bit and there just wasn't much forward of the ball.
Caddy didn't have a fun night.
Nah.
And he was never going to. As soon as Silvani, was back in,
Yeah.
There wasn't the Caddy. Caddy really struggled tonight, which is understandable and fair enough. But I thought some of his second efforts were questionable tonight, but he probably gets a pass mark.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just the efforts. I mean, he ended up, dicing one off the ground and then found Gresham in between two defenders. And I was like, how is that even possible?
It's ridiculous.
And that just shows, like, he just keep putting effort in effort. And, eventually something will work.
Exactly. So. Yeah. And eventually he'll tidy up. He'll tidy himself up a bit, and I just can't believe, like, there's so many things he's got to improve on, but he's already so good. So, like, it's just so exciting for the future. I also thought Kako was really good.
Yeah, and I think people are getting onto him recently because it's just not translating to his stat sheet. It's not showing
exactly
that, he's kicking goals but his pressure acts, he's there. He's a team player. And that's, okay, we thought he was going to be like a Nick Watson and take the game on his own back, but I don't think he needs to yet. I think he wants to get the team aspect right and then build off that. So
yes, and you know what? He already has that Waller energy of the perceived pressure. So you can already see the defenders tense up a little bit when he's around him and already have to give the ball, feel like they've got less time than they actually do. And that not many players give off that energy. And Kako already does it because he runs on top of the ground and he's light on his feet and he's flail arms, and I just feel like that perceived pressure is it's an energetic thing, and I reckon he's got it already.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him and Davey zip around the forward line, give Gresh a week off.
Yeah,
and
I would have loved that. I would love that. You know what? Oscar Smart was very good in the VFL today. He was impressive.
Maybe him instead. So
yeah.
Look, there's going to have to be a few changes again, isn't there? Because I think Durham will either miss with the ankle or he probably just needs a rest anyway. And then
he's getting suspended.
It's so bad because I had this argument and me and my mate were going over it and going, how can Tom Stewart absolutely fold someone in half? Yeah, he didn't hit his head, but no weeks at all. And then Chera just doesn't know how to pick up the ball properly and doesn't protect himself. And poor Durham just goes harder. It's like everyone knows Durham's a bit, reckless, but at the same time, he's always going the footy. He just wants to go harder than you do.
True. But the thing is, he wasn't going the football. He was going the bump.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's going to get him.
Yeah.
There is literally no way that we can paint this that he was going the football. He literally braced to bump, and that is what's going to be his undoing. The only saving grace is that Chera did not get concussed.
Played the rest of the game, yeah. I mean, I don't know who's teaching him how to pick up the footy though, because he picked it up, his head up.
I mean, the way the camera was panning, it was almost like he died. Like, did it have to go on? Like, anyway, I thought it was weird how they kept going on him. I mean, anyway, I thought it was weird that Carlton didn't take him off straight away. Weird.
Yeah, there seems to be some question marks over that. There'll be some, I don't know. They'll probably just like sweep it under the rug and move on.
Of course they will. Of course they will. Absolutely they will. Oh, Mitch, thank you so much for coming on. You are freaking incredible for your debut. You better be back because you have just dropped the facts. Absolutely. You are amazing.
Just got to get it off my chest so I can sleep tonight because otherwise.
That's what this is for. That's what this is for. So you're welcome. You are welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mitch. I'll talk to you soon.
See you later.
Bye. Good night. All right, everyone, hang tight. I'll get to you all very soon. Who have I got here? Dave.
Hey. Sorry.
How are you?
Asleep. Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. What's happening?
That's good. Oh, not a lot. Just watching the news of the game and then finishing off a couple of coteletas still. So.
Oh, don't. Yeah. I could go a cotoletta now. Damn.
They're going.
For anyone who's not Italian, a cotoletta is a chicken schnitzel. And just the bomb, as we all know. Yeah. Did you have you watched the press conference? I'm assuming it's already been on. What did Brad say?
They didn't show it on Foxtel, and I couldn't be bothered going to Channel 7, so it hasn't come up yet though. But I assume that he'll say that my guess is that he'll say that it was a good performance, but we're still pissed off that we lost.
Yeah.
So, or words to that effect. So,
yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see what he says about that first quarter and stuff. So, my take on it was just the kids were just kind of lost, and it took them 32 minutes to kind of find themselves, really.
Somebody who watched the press conference in the chat, please tell me that a journo actually asked the question about the first quarters. I just want to know that. You don't have to tell me what Brad Scott says, but just tell me that somebody, when I watch it tonight, somebody did ask him about it. Okay, Dave, how'd you see the game?
I thought it was, other than the first quarter, I think we won the game other than the first quarter, basically. So we moved the ball well after that. The guys, he made some positional changes in that second at quarter time. So I thought Johnson played really well. He was like a high half back. He did well. And Clark again was, played out of position in the back line and stuff, but he did a couple of good things, and, he always tries to hurt them when he gets near the ball. Does is in trouble. He's in trouble. He'll get, he'll be lucky to get 1 week. I think he'll get 2. But
I'd be pretty happy with 2, to be quite honest.
Yeah, he probably needs a break, like thing I said before. So it wasn't. But yeah, the turnovers. It was just.
Hey, Dave, what was it? The second? I'm pretty sure it was the second, or maybe the first. It was early. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was I don't know, first or second. It was before.
It was early, Meg. Yeah, it was either end of the first.
Half time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was either end of the first or early in the second. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just turnovers. Even Archie Roberts was turning the ball over. Just those kicks coming out of half back, like towards the center of the ground. I don't know how many times we turned the ball over just with kicks and stuff. Handballs again, like we were handballing to people, and that's a byproduct of the guys trying to kind of move the game on. But if you're going to handball, don't handball kind of to the side, at least handball kind of forward to the guys that are running and stuff. Parrish started off really fumbly, like he just couldn't grab the ball. There was no one touch. But, I mean, if you saw it on TV, he was good in that. I don't know what it looked like at the ground, but that last quarter that he played, he was good. I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
What else? How did you see? Were you at the game or did you watch it on TV?
No, I was out, but yeah, watched it on screen. I thought he was fumbly, and I just noticed that he was slow to release the ball and just drew so much pressure, and then he put his teammate under pressure when he released it. So but you can't question his ability to get a clearance. He was incredible in that area, and he did a lot of good things. But I'm willing to give him a pass mark because it's the first game. So it was pass mark for him.
Yeah, no, I think he'll get better. That's he has to, given that Durham's not going to be around, so he's going to be in there. You spoke about Perkins already. There was one part in the third quarter where he went up for a mark with 3 Carlton players. The ball went to the ground and he just stood there, and the 3 Carlton players just ran straight past him to get the ball. And I made a comment about it, and I just thought that was And then there was the part that some of the guys will mention it and stuff when he basically got dragged and he was subbed straight away. He was subbed straight after that in the third quarter or the last quarter.
I mean, I love that. So, I love that happened.
But I think that's a signal to him that could be,
Hey, chat, is that the first time that Perkins has been subbed or ever a sub without injury though? Like not subbed for injury?
Because think it was.
That's a message. I think you're spot on that. That's a message.
I would have liked to have seen the camera on Scotty when that happened, because he's not, the Scott brothers aren't shy of, kind of shedding their emotions in the coach's box during a game. Guelphy was good. He was real good. There were a couple of efforts there. Peter Wright tried and tried and tried. He just wasn't getting the kind of in that the first quarter and the first half. He just wasn't getting that the delivery to him as well.
But he also kicking boots 3-0. Just spent. I think he was 88% or something on the game, on the ground, which is a lot for a big man.
But he kept on presenting. He just kept on
presenting. Yeah, took some marks.
Yeah. So he was good, and he kicked straight. He had his kicking boots on today, so it wasn't, those when he's 20 meters out, and I kind of get, 20 or 30 meters out, and you get a bit. If he kicks one straight, then he'll kick the rest of them. So that was good. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
What else? No, I think that was about it. I thought that just, the kids at the start, to me, that's what was kind of what put us on the back foot, was the way that the kids were just kind of, 70,000 people. They were just kind of standing there with, flat-footed, and Carlton just kind of got the ascendancy and got the confidence and stuff. But the way that the camera was panning to them in the second and the third quarters into the crowd, and they were just people, there was Carlton people there just going like this, and they were nervous, and they were all, so that felt good.
Yeah. So. They would have felt like history is repeating itself. And to be quite honest, I'm sorry if there are any Carlton. I mean, but I've come full circle on the Carlton fans, because the majority of them have been incredible. But I don't know that I don't know how Terry's fan cams are going, but I don't know that they should be that happy. No. I think we're going to see what a very, very good team is going to do to a bottom six team next week, because I still can't compute how they did not beat us by more. I just can't compute that.
And the umpires,
anyway.
I don't know. The decision was a bad decision, but it was the decision was there, that kind of rushed behind and stuff. I know we see it every week, but Martin just didn't. All Martin had to do was turn around, and the Carlton players would have come towards him, and he could have just taken a step back over the line, but he didn't.
Or just not pick it up. Just
could have fumbled it and kicked it over.
Be a bit clumsier. Maybe Marto's got to go to a drama class. We've got to send him for a drama class or something just to get his acting on. But my point is, even though it was obvious, it happens 15 times around, as I said before, and so there is no excuse for paying it. There's just not. There's just not. Just like there's no excuse for paying, a couple of the deliberates. And anyway, Dave, thank you so much.
No worries. Have a good night.
Do you want to say something? What were you going to say?
I was just going to say that the commentators on the TV in that first quarter, they predicted, if you look at the score lines between the Brisbane game and the Carlton game, they were so close to each other in regards to the margins and that. And they said it in the first quarter. They said, this is going to be like the Brisbane game, and I think Essendon will come back. So
wow. Jeez, everyone's got the faith. Look at all the Essendon talk and the fans with the faith. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. I just love the it's not like blind faith. It's not, we think we're going to win every game, but it's just it's a faith and the hope for the future, and I'm enjoying it. Anyway,
I think everyone's enjoying watching these kids play, because then in 2 or probably 3 years' time, and these kids are playing together now as 19-year-olds. I think that's when you'll really see them do well. So
and
hopefully a couple of the older blokes are around.
And let's be quite honest. Let me be clear. If Ridley, Mackay, Reid, Draper are playing, and that's just 4, there is no way we lose that tonight. No way.
Yeah.
And that in itself that is so crippling for Carlton, because there is no way we should be winning that. No. So I'll leave our little chat there, Dave. All right. Thank you so much,
Have
legend.
A good night. Good luck.
I love you. Worries. Thank you. Bye. Pat. G-Pat is the OG contributor, donator to Bomber Banter. You are back. Can we talk about the umpires? Because you were the first OG, yes, let's talk about the umpires. I've already had my say. What do you guys think? Maybe my next guest can have a bit of a vent. Maz.
Hello, how are we?
I'm good. How are you? We're back in the dark.
Yeah, not a very good thing, but it's all right.
How are you doing?
The whole little thing, but yeah.
Oh, that's nice. We like a bit of the LEDs.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Flashback from Brisbane.
Yes.
Flashbacks from Brisbane. I think, as you said before with Dave, if we had Ridley, Draper, Nick Bryan, Mackay, Reid, we had our squad and we were winning that. There was no flush in the doubt.
Yeah.
Thought Luau had a really, really good game today. Kicking his first goal, finding these debutants, just chuck them all in every single week, to be honest, because they're carrying this side to what seems to be a good thing. Paul Merritt got tagged again this week.
Chincotta ran with him?
Yeah, I thought Chincotta was going to go with Martin. It looked like that in the first quarter. Chincotta was on Martin at that first centre bounce when the first bounce went on. But no, Nick Martin got free, and well, he did what Nick Martin does. There was a new Martin in town in that third quarter where he just straightened up and he kicked that goal. I was losing my voice.
I think I was off my seat. Yeah, I was off my bar seat.
Yeah. But yeah, well, flashbacks from Brisbane. But that backline, I thought Laverde, he got to me at some stages. I mean, that I think Kerner was coming up on the lead and he just had his arm just around Kerner's waist there, going up for the spoil. It got called a 50 on the 50-metre line, and well, I think it led into a Jesse Motlop goal. Motlop killed us.
How? Carlton fans could not be speaking worse of him this whole year.
The smallest guy there, he beats Gresham, Wright, Caddy, all in a marking contest in our 50. He beats all of them. Please explain how the smallest guy on the ground beats 600 centimetres worth of players. Explain. I don't get it. It frustrates me to think that we have such a good forward line in combined, right? And we have midfielders pushing in. Midfielders did great tonight, don't get me wrong. But Motlop, he killed us. What? He had 3-4 goals. Oh, but Courtesy, like, give him all full credit. I mean, Courtesy to him, but God. I expected McGrath to go to him. Where was McGrath tonight? He had such a good game last week on Cameron.
Yeah, but Motlop is not a dangerous forward. He's done nothing the whole year. You wouldn't think that you'd send McGrath to a forward who's been nothing, right?
After half time, I mean, he was.
Oh hurting. Yeah, true.
But, come on, send McGrath to him. Take him out of the game.
Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah.
I mean, first quarter, second quarter, fine. Okay, understandable. We're just reading it off. But after half time, he had 3 goals at half time. Put someone on him. Eliminate him from the conversation. Kerner wasn't doing anything. Kerner was giving him the ball.
Yeah.
50-metre line. Motlop has the ball. Handballs to Kerner. On Fox Footy, they showed vision of, I don't know who it was, 4 of our players just standing there looking at him. Laverde was on the other side of the ground. It's frustrating. I mean, yeah, it's new boys, understandable. I'm not going to get angry about it. But it's frustrating just to look at how we did so well last week around this. And this week, they're just standing there looking at him. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean...
It baffles me.
There was a lot of confusion. Yeah. But I look at what LJ brought up and that we literally kept them to under 80 points with a no-name backline, a makeshift backline who have not played even one game together, literally, because there was a debutant back there, a second gamer back there. So, I mean, I honestly think they held up as best they could. I don't feel like we can criticise the backline. I mean, maybe we can say Andy McGrath. I mean, who did he match up on for most of the game?
I didn't see him. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Maybe chat can tell you, but I didn't see him. I think he was on Zach Williams at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think it was Williams he went to, but then Williams also. Yeah. I mean, he's at the back. No one's on him. Deep forward 50. He runs into the goals and he kicks a goal. I'm sorry. After I give full credit to what Guy did last week, he may have an off game this week. He might be back next week, but not the best game from him, I don't think.
No, yeah, and that's just not who he was matched up on. But there were a couple of running around in circle back to those habits that he kind of did. And again, that's did he have a lot of help down there? Was there somebody there ready to take the handball receive? No, No. So can we be that critical?
No,
I don't know.
He was trying to defend 2-on-1. It was kind of it was hard for him. And Redmond going out as I laid out is just hurting a bit more. With already no Reed, Mackay, no Ridley, Redmond going out just hurts even more, to be honest. And after Heppel retired last year, it hurts off even more again. I thought if Heppel played this game, I thought he would have done great. Having that bit more experience. Dyson Heppel from last year.
Yeah.
He matched up on small forwards last year. Andy McGrath, superb back there tonight. He would have done the job fine.
Yeah, maybe, possibly.
There's just nothing down there anymore, and it's hurting to watch. But I know.
I mean, but look, we're decimated. I mean, they're the facts,
Yeah.
We really can't. It's hard to be super critical. I know we're disappointed because we looked like we could really win that game at point, but I think it's hard to be critical of that back line. It'd be super rough to be critical of them. But thank you, Muzz.
Other than that, I mean, it was all positives out of everything else. I thought Duz got a bit unlucky in there with that bump. It was the second quarter that happened. I think he might get a 1 to 2 week ban for that, but I think that's good for him anyway. I mean, his ankle's playing up on him.
It looks like they're probably just taping him and sending him out a bit sore. So a week off is probably not going to hurt.
I would have kept Perkins on at that, right, and just told Duz, okay, it's tactical. We'll keep you off because we don't want to lose you. He's such a vital role in the midfield with Caldwell, Merritt, Setterfield. I mean, hopefully this gives Shield, Elijah Sidus to come back in, provide a bit more run and a bit more burst out of that midfield. But again, such a vital player. Thought Caddy was good, even though he didn't have the best game. His kick off the grounds, his just attributes to get it to ground was good. He tapped it down to Gresham, and Gresham kicked that weird goal off the bounce.
It was weird.
So
it was a great goal assist, though.
I'll give it to Caddy not having a big influence on the scoreboard. He still did really well. Guelphy was amazing. First contested mark of the game went to Guelphy, and he beat De Koning in a 1-on-1, or Silvani was it, in a 1-on-1.
A big battle. And you know what? He also was tag teamed a lot. Same with Peter Wright. In a lot of his marking contests, there were 3 Carlton players on him, and that's just how we're rolling at the moment because we don't have much coming in. But hopefully next week I'd love to see them bring in McMahon.
I was talking throughout the week. Throughout the week about talking about McMahon. They should have just brought McMahon in. I mean, Luau did great, but McMahon would have just been a bit better because of height.
Yeah.
I thought having McGovern, Silvani, Wiedering back there, bring extra bit of height to just try and drag them up the field and get your Kakos and your Greshams out the back. I thought, great game, but he wasn't the player that we needed. We needed that extra big. And those draft picks that we got, they're 180, 198, 195 centimeters. Get them in the mix. He had a great game today. Oscar Smart in the VFL.
He did, yeah. His goal was special. was really good. I really enjoyed that.
The VFL. Yeah, it was really a good goal.
I really enjoyed that. I think he's got something about him. I've liked him forever, and I think something about him. I'd love to see him at AFL level.
He'll be our new like Kyle Langford. I can see him as that Kyle Langford type role after Langford and all that.
He's a bit smaller.
He's a bit smaller, but he has that presence. He has that big body presence. He maybe is a bit smaller, but he has a big presence when he goes up and he just kicks the goals. I mean,
yeah. He's got some mongrel about him. I just like that.
He's got that for us, and we've got a lot of small forwards coming through the draft next year. I mean, we're racking up all these forwards, and I mean, it's great to see, but damn, I wish we had some height right now.
Oh, I know. It's not what we need, is it, Mars? But anyway, all right, Mars, I might leave you there and get some of the others back on.
All good. Thanks, Fiona.
Thank you so much. Always good to have you. Take care. We'll talk during the week.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good night.
See ya. All right. Hang tight, people in the chat. People in the studio, I will get to you in a hot second, but Angus Walker, thank you, my friend. That is very, very generous of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate you. Oh, Coanda, you think Dylan Shield will get a run next week? Oh, that's going to upset many. If he comes in before Sardis, there's going to be pitchforks. Not from me, but I think there will be. I think people will be upset. Mitch, Hurdy has gone into bat for Durham. Yeah. And good. I mean, let's be honest. Chera's technique was horrendous. Did he even, do junior footy? Like, that's not how you protect yourself. But was still went the bump. So I still think he's going to be in trouble. Hey, Felix, how are you? Thought that was a very strong defensive performance given the circumstances. Yeah, I agree. It's just so hard to be so critical of them. They look so confused. Bless. Strange a Carlton troll would be called me. It is strange. And also, to that Carlton troll, O'Keefe had a great game. But who was his opponent? Just remind me on that. He should have had a great game. So Patrick Cripps should have had a great game. Curnow should have kicked 12. This is my point. It's great that Carlton won. And great that Motlop had a great game. I think Langy, you're even telling me you've been on Blue Abroad and some are still staying to drop him. Like, it's literally, it's the opponent. It's not, he had a great game, O'Keefe. Good on him. But how can you say that it's because, sure, he might be great, but he was not against strong opponent. Hey, Pete, how are you? Yes, the big ginger, chef's kiss, and it's not just the 3 goals. If you watch him outside of his 3 goals, I implore you to watch him. His little shepherds, his little blocks, his tackles, his second efforts. I'm telling you, he's so much more than his goals. Yeah, exactly. Assassin, exactly. 100%. Angus, thank you. McGrath was on Williams for most of the game. Okay, yep. But sometimes it was on Motlop. Roberts was on Motlop. Roberts, we haven't spoken about Roberts. He had a strange old game, didn't he? It was quite un-Roberts-like, no? I don't feel like I noticed him. Yeah, snazzy shoes. He nailed it, as always. The energy is weird from this Carlton supporter, troll, supporter, whatever. It's just weird to be gloating about that. Meg, how are you, Meg? The Carlton supporters I was sat near were freaks hurling abuse at Curnow. I mean, there's a name for those, and I think I'll get cancelled if I say it. Shane, how are you? The turning point was when the umpire pinged Essendon for deliberately putting the ball in P. I think you mean the points. The points. Gotcha. Okay. It's past 12, so I'll give myself a break for that. Angus Clark was playing on McGovern regularly. Our backline just was up against it. Hard to be overly critical of anyone in there. I mean, a third gamer playing against McGovern. He would have learnt heaps. So fantastic. But as a Carlton supporters cannot be joyful that McGovern beat a third gamer. Hey, KP, haven't been on long, but as Parishman mentioned, either very rusty or back to his old habits. Yeah, he has been mentioned, and I thought he was pretty good for a first game back. His clearance work was brilliant, but yeah, he looked a bit slow. His pace looked a bit slow. But my rule is at least 3 games to get back into it, in my opinion anyway. Has Posadas played a single game that has impressed you? Probably not a full game. Granted, he hasn't been given many full games, but yeah, he's had moments. I thought he was brilliant when he came on last week. I thought he was really good. Despite one thing, I thought he was good. Yeah, Chris, I saw head. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I was a couple of vodkas down at that point, so I need to watch it again, sober. Do I even need to say any more to this? Jackson Pryor. I'm actually not going to elaborate. That says it all. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Jez, Roberts had a mare. Yep. I didn't want to say it, but I thought he did. Yep. Okay. Thank you. I feel like Clark played well to McGovern. McGovern ended up playing in defence in that last quarter. He was goalless. Yeah. So he did do pretty well, the young pup. All right. No. How are you, my friend?
Hey, how are we?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I ran into your friend Jade at the BFL.
Oh, you did? Isn't she wonderful? So you did the double header?
Yeah. I'll tell you, I went to the boundary line for the third quarter. I can still hear her cheering from the grandstand. She really is very enthusiastic. It was great. Yeah, I did the double header.
How was it? Are you exhausted?
Yeah, and boy, it was cold at Windy Hill.
Oh my God.
Oh, the wind, it's what you call a lazy wind. It doesn't go round, it just goes straight through.
Oof.
Ooh,
Were you rugged up?
Oh, yeah. I had my big thick jacket on and my double shirt and about 4 scarves. Yeah. And I had my, But, look, I thought we were heading
Hey, Noel, start with the VFL. Tell me a bit about the VFL. Tell us a bit.
Well, it was nice to see Archer May. He's a big lad.
Yes.
He's a big lad. He kicked a goal. He missed a couple of early shots.
Okay.
They got around him when he kicked his goal. It was very exciting. But he came into it, I thought, in the second half. McMahon kicked the first 2 goals of the match and then played a little bit in defence and then finished the game in the forward line. Oscar Smart was fighting everybody, so I don't know whether he's going to lose a bit of money on his new contract for melee.
That's all right. Good signs.
Yeah, it was quite spiteful. There was quite a few little wrestling matches going on. At one stage, we're having a wrestling match and having a shot for goal at the same time and kicking the goal at the same time. Yeah,
they were just flying the rivalry flag in the VFL.
Yeah, they faded again in the last quarter, like they did last week, because they were in the game for a fair bit. But then they faded a bit, and I think that's got a lot to do with the fact that you got a lack of seasoned players in that VFL side. You got a lot of top-up kids and things like that, so that probably they tire out a little bit. But Oscar Smart played pretty some nice things. He did pretty well, and Blackston played at centre half back.
Yes, I saw that. How'd he go?
Yeah, he looks good. Again, you're playing in a new team. You've got to take your time to learn bits and pieces. But yeah, as the game progressed, he seemed to get better. So that was positive. Dylan Shield didn't play in the VFL, so he was held over and just in case it was a last minute injury. Getting to the MCG afterwards was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I was there in plenty of time.
How'd you get there?
I did public transport.
Okay.
I did the train from Essendon to Flinders Street.
Yep.
And then it was just basically jump on the tram from there and away you go.
Okay.
So that was, but getting out of the MCG was hell tonight. It's craziness. They're blocked off. They're blocked off all around Swinburne Centre. So where I normally go, I normally walk down to the Richmond, the Richmond bit there, their rooms, and then cut round and catch the bus.
Okay.
Get the bus home down Punt Road.
Yeah.
But that was all blocked off, so I had to go. Yeah. But the Carlton fans were very quiet on the way home. There wasn't a lot of Carlton singing the song, and
wow,
so maybe
that's interesting.
Maybe they felt they got away with one. They got lucky.
Oh look, Jez had a mare too. Jez says the public transport was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's always bad on a Sunday. I mean, you would think that they would be aware that there's actually a freaking game of football. People want to get home before freaking midnight,
Exactly, absolutely. I mean, it's typical. It's just absolutely freaking typical.
Yeah, Vigo played well, and I think Vigo should play next week. I think they have to give the old man a bit of a break. And we can also pay Peter Whitemore as a forward because he's more damaging up forward for us, gives us a target.
I thought I read somewhere, I thought somebody told me that Pitternet really killed him.
In the ruck, the hit outs, yeah, but I thought Vigo played okay around the ground. He did some nice things around the ground. He took a few marks and he wasn't as dominant. And he got beaten by Young a couple of times too. But yeah, it was interesting, the VFL, because I was really looking forward to seeing how Archer May would look, and he was quite impressive, but maybe not quite ready yet.
Okay, Felix is. All right, good to know. Yeah, Pitnet had him in the first quarter. Vigo fought back really well. Good. Yeah, I only saw the first quarter, and Pitnet absolutely had him by the Yeah. So that's great that he fought back. That's great.
Yeah, and I thought he did quite well around the ground, so he was good.
Good.
Look, the senior game, you said we'd lose by 90 points or something. Ridiculous. Yep. I thought we had a chance, and then when Mackay went out, we got a really good chance.
Yeah.
But maybe they were a bit overawed at the start, because it was a big crowd and all that sort of stuff. But look, I think Johnson was terrific. I think Clark did some nice things. Luau, who I didn't even, total surprise he was playing. I thought they'd play McMahon before Luau, and Luau did some lovely things and he's got a good disposal. I don't think he turned it over. If he did once.
I can't think of a time.
I can't think, but he hit a target. He got a handball. He played on. Ridiculous delivered out of bounds bullshit. I mean, come on. I think the story is if the umpire makes a mistake, make the same mistake the whole game.
That's right.
That's what we were taught when we were umpiring volleyball. If you make that mistake, and make the same mistake, then you're consistent. But some of those delivered out of bounds were ridiculous. But we got beaten by an RC goal kicked on the boundary line by number 13, whoever it is, right?
Yeah.
You don't call it Carlton bloke. And I don't know what that we got. We had an advantage rule taken off us when we were already clear.
Yeah.
Late in the last quarter.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
And they ended up getting a goal out of that because we turned it over. Even though we had that, and then they got a 50-meter penalty for some reason, which no one understood. But yeah, I didn't think the umpires had a big effect on the game, to be honest, but they were pretty terrible just overall. Because I think the rules are just getting ridiculous now. The biggest winners today, though, were the bookies.
Really?
Oh, yeah, the bookies had Carlton to win, so the bookies were happy that the Bombers didn't get up. They would have lost their money. So I think the bookies had an influence towards in the last quarter. We're not going to say games are rigged or anything. We don't want to say that.
Yeah, don't get me cancelled, Noel.
No. We can't be saying that about Geelong either. No. They've got 9 commentators now in the media, Geelong. So you don't think they're being favoured in any way whatsoever. No, not possible. 9 people now who are former the Geelong supporters. Oh, did you hear did you see the Brereton story where he's doing the washing at home? Because apparently he went to Bali and he came home to do the washing, and Archie had some of his Essendon gear in the wash, and Brereton said, I nearly binned it.
Oh.
He was going to
hey, Dermy, get used to it. There's going to be much more red and black gear in the wash.
Yeah.
Don't turn it black. Don't put it in with the blacks. The black clothes. The black clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't put it in with the black clothes.
Yeah. You got to change your colours in your whites. You got to make sure you get all that right, don't you?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, what was Redmond's problem? Why did he pull out?
Calf.
Oh, yeah. So he was he got injured washing the dishes at home, did he?
I mean, apparently he did a fitness test. So, I mean, I know a lot of us are hoping, praying that, the fact that he got to do a fitness test means that maybe he was close and it's not so bad of an injury. I don't know. Did anybody who listened to Brad's presser in the chat, did anybody ask him about Redmond, or did he say anything about Redmond? Let us know.
The media don't ask questions about us. They barely talk about us in the media. We can have a win, and they don't talk about us.
Yeah,
it's a win. Yeah, they don't talk about it. They don't give us up. Yeah.
Oh, okay, Jimmy, thank you. They said low grade strain. I mean, but again, why did I even ask that question when my rule is you don't listen to Brad Scott about the injuries post game, because he doesn't know, and he always makes me feel better, and then it comes out and it's turns into an 8-week calf, and then I'm sad. So
we just go by the Essendon injury rule that if it's a 2-week injury for everybody else, it's a 9-week injury for us. Yeah, that's the general rule. Anybody who's out there who's interested, and I don't like doing self-promotion, but I am doing a stand-up gig on Friday night at St Kilda Cellars, which is on Fitzroy Street. The back of the bottle shop is a comedy venue. And I'm hosting. There's about 20 comics on, and it's free. So
all right, tell us again. Tell us again before you go, Noel. Where is it? And what time?
St Kilda Cellars on Fitzroy Street in St Kilda.
Yep.
It's the back of the bottle shop there.
Yep.
They do it. They have comedy there every Friday night. I've been on there about 9 or 10 times. They're foolishly giving me a hosting role, so I've got to actually run the room, so that's going to be scary.
I think you'll be fantastic. I think you'll be absolutely fantastic, and I think you'll get the room in an instant. No, you will do wonderful. So when's that? Just remind me before I let you go.
This Friday the 13th, Lucky Friday.
Okay, Friday the 13th. Everybody get down if you love your comedy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. As for the Bombers, well, we've got comedy watching them, haven't we, really?
Exactly. At least we can laugh about ourselves, that the Carlton troll is not enjoying the fact that we can laugh at ourselves. But we are not in conflict with where we are. So thank you, Noel, for being here. Absolutely love your work. Good luck. Tell us all about how you go next week.
Yeah, come down if you can. And, the drinks will be on me because they're free.
Oh, all right, Noel. Good luck. Bye.
All right.
James.
Is that me?
Good evening.
You caught me on the hop. Wasn't expecting to jump on.
How
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, had a massive day.
You also did the double header, just like Noel.
did the double head. I actually saw Noel there. He didn't realise he was talking to me. Didn't know who I was. But yeah, well, I met
Oh,
Noel today. So I was sitting with Meg.
you,
I took Meg to the VFL today, down from
oh,
Newcastle. Then
didn't you tell Noel? Didn't you introduce yourself and say, I've seen you on Bomber Banter?
no, I should have, but I didn't.
Hello, this is what this is. It's connecting everyone.
I know. Well, you know that's my strength. I connect with lots of people. I think I might have actually been on the phone at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, did the VFL. Then we headed into the have a few drinks, a couple of birthday drinks before the game, and then if you remember, my daughter and I went into the rooms and then on the ground for the Guard of Honor, which was a really good experience for us. She loved it. It was so good.
How was it? Good?
I'm guessing you've probably seen stacks of videos on Twitter. Posted heaps of them. It was good. No, it was great. It was a great experience. I felt sorry for the little kids though when I'm walking out of the race and the kids are high-fiving me. It's like, why?
Bless.
It was cute. It was cute. No, we had a really good night. Game not so good, but especially at the start. But no, it was a really good day. Always a good day to go to the double head on the King's birthday game.
Yep.
So, thoughts on the game?
You tell me.
I tipped Carlton, and I tipped Carlton for one main reason, and that's because I did not think we would be able to go anywhere near stopping Tom DeConing. I thought he was always going to be too much for Goldstein. As much as he's a battle, he was always going to battle and have a crack. But if he's our third best ruck, and I reckon DeConing is the exact sort of ruckman that he was going to really struggle with. And that was the main reason I went with Carlton. It showed out that way DeConing was the real difference as far as I was concerned. We couldn't go with him. I thought our backline held up pretty well, all things considered. And we just had a crack. I mean, we turned the ball over. I mean, I've seen so many people having a dip at Parrish, which I think is unfair. I think considering it's his first game of the year, had 32 double clearances of anyone else. Yeah, he was a bit rusty by foot, but everyone was rusty by foot tonight. Roberts, who's one of our better users of the footy, a couple of shocking turnovers. It was across the board in that regard, but the fight was there, the effort was there. I think if you just look at this team, right? How many games? This team has just not played games together.
Especially the backline.
Kids everywhere. You got a backline. You got. I saw someone on social media tonight saying, "Why is Laverty still getting a game?" I'm like,
"Oh my god!"
Seriously, that was a legitimate post I saw tonight.
No,
why
is
Laverty getting a? No, I'll send it to you later. Why is Laverty getting a game? It's because he's the only one there. I'm not. I kid you not.
I can't. That's just unbelievable, is it not?
It is. It is. I'm becoming. I was very keen for him to get a debut, and when he played last week, but I'm still really liking what I'm seeing from Johnson.
Yes.
And we love Clark. We love Clark, don't we?
We absolutely love Clark. I love his tenacity, and he made a few blues, but I don't know. I just saw in him that pissed offness.
Love him.
And I love, yeah.
Okay, love him. My favourite tweet of the night.
It wasn't why are we playing Laverty?
No, that was actually on Facebook. That was on Lunchtime Catch-Up page, I think that one was. I still can't believe that was posted. No, my favourite tweet of the night was from Dean Dersma, having a crack at the media. Do they even watch the game? That X has not been in the best players all year.
Dean Dersma, if you don't follow him, people, he is gold. He has no filter.
You've got to follow Dean Dersma.
You got to follow Dean, Xavier Dersma's dad, and don't troll him because we love the openness. We don't want it to stop.
Yeah, he was so good tonight, Xavier.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest. I thought he butchered. He made a lot of blues, but a few marks he should have absolutely taken that he dropped, and a few kicks he should have absolutely got that he missed. But his gut running is, I mean, I can't. I don't know how he finds the energy to be a presence at both ends of the ground.
He just doesn't stop running.
Yeah.
He's all heart. I had him in our best players. I thought Wright was good in patches, particularly getting us back in the game. I thought he was really good.
Ginger for the second week in a row getting us back in the game. If you don't remember, in the second quarter last week, he was the one who kicked the first 2 goals and
100%.
got us back in the game. So I saw someone on Twitter yesterday say, I'm still not convinced at all about 2 meter Peter. And I thought, what more could this guy be doing? Like he's down there with a Bebe forward line with Bebes at his feet, trying to be a leader and doing splendidly. He's trying to help Todd Goldstein. He's tackling like he's never tackled before. I don't think I've ever seen a year from him, even his Crichton medal winning year, where he's tackled and run down tackled players, and he's just doing the little things. And you just got to watch him off the ball to appreciate it. So I'm sorry, but I just have to give him
I was really worried about Peter Wright, thinking we might have seen the best of him last year.
Yes.
Because he was playing really passive footy. He was just there was no presence about him. It's almost like I don't know if it was his shoulder. I don't know if it was when he got suspended, but he's passive. This year he's playing with more presence. He's attacking the footy.
Yes.
Taking his marks. I think of the day or what it would be like when you've got a Draper and Peter Wright combination. I don't think DeConey, if a fully fit Draper DeConey doesn't do what he does against a fully fit Sam Draper with backup from Peter Wright playing forward. I'm really keen to see that combination now from what we've seen of Draper earlier in the year.
Yeah. I think I've seen a bit of a few people question Kako, but I thought he had a good night.
Kako he has a crack. He does bits and pieces. He's a kid. He's learning the game. I've got zero concerns about Kako. I'm just happy for him to keep playing and keep learning and keep growing. He'll be a good footballer. But he doesn't have to be a world beater this year. Just get games into him, get games into Caddy, get games at all these kids while we can.
Yeah. I think particularly his position on the ground above anybody else's is not one that you judge on his score sheet. You just don't. You can't. His position is not necessarily judged by his scorecard. You have to take him.
Yeah.
Even if you like James, even if he was a 40-game player, you don't necessarily. Waller never racked up the scoreboard, but it's the perceived pressure. It's the 1 or 2 rundown tackles. It's all those little things. So
he does a lot of his work 50 to 80 meters out from goal too. So he's not always inside 50, and especially in the last few weeks, he's been up the ground. I think from what I've seen, up the ground a little bit more, and I think he gets more involved in the game. I'm a fan. I don't really care. I'd love to see him kick goals, but I don't really care that he's not at the moment.
Yeah.
He's he goes well.
Yep.
Who did you have as your best 3 tonight?
I don't know. I don't know if I can give you my Twix Awards yet. I've got to save it for the review show.
That's fair. No, that's fair. That's fair.
But off my very loose thinking, straight after the game, Mardo and 2 meter Peter will be up there. Don't know who the third. I think Merritt had a great second half. I liked his second half. I know he was in the back line for a lot of the first half, and that's probably not where he does his best work. But
I'm not a fan of that.
But you understand why. Like, surely nobody's questioning why that's happening.
Why Merritt's in the back line?
Yeah.
Well, because there's no one else.
Correct. So, like, we understand that's not where. Does anybody here think, now that the Carlton troll's gone, does anybody think that Brad Scott wants to be playing Zach Merritt in the back line? Of course not. Of course not. Of course he wants him in half forward and pinch hitting in the middle. But right now, that's what we've got to do. And it's giving, bigger picture on that. It's necessity, but it's giving the mids some, autonomy and some experience and some learnings. I know we hate that word, but it is what it is, unfortunately. And you know what? He's our best ball user. He should be doing well back there.
He should, yeah. But He's last 2 weeks he's done some horrible turnovers in the back line.
Terrible.
I think he's
Cost
I
goals.
think he's realizing actually it's not that easy in the back
Yes.
with the football use. Hey, I'm going to challenge you on something too. When I was on earlier on, I heard you say something, and I'm going to disagree with you on it. Let's fight it. Let's fight over it. I will have another look at it, but I believe Durham was absolutely.
I know, Moby. I know. I'm sorry. Sorry, James. Go.
What was that? I didn't see that.
Oh, he was just saying learnings, like
yeah.
the word learnings. Yeah.
I reckon Durham absolutely was going for the ball. Went sideways, went low to get the ball. Chera had a rubbish technique. I think Hurd was spot on with it. He did get him in the head, which is annoying, but I reckon worst case 2 weeks. Hopefully he gets one. Worst case, because he's not concussed unless there's delayed. He's not going to get more than 2 weeks without concussion for that. But he would get 3 weeks if he did get concussion.
Yeah. From what I saw, I haven't rewatched it closely. Just from the only replays of it I've seen are at the screen I was watching, and I did not watch a replay close up. But for me, he was absolutely going the bump.
I think he was bending down to pick up the ball, and again, I've got to rewatch it too because I only saw it live at the game from a fourth level for away seats.
Well, there you go. There's a fellow person who did the same.
Yep. So I do miss my home seats. I reckon he went low, turned side on to protect himself, which Chera should have done exactly the same thing to get the ball. I reckon, but his primary objective, I think, was the ball. But I'm going to have a close look, and I'm happy to come back to you and say I got it wrong when I look at it closer.
I could be wrong too. But when I saw the replay on the screen, I specifically looked at his eyes, and I looked at his eyeballs. Where are his eyeballs right now? And his eyeballs were the ball, and then he saw Chera coming, and he braced his body, turned, and bumped him. But now that's good technique because he's protecting himself, correct? But he still bumped him, and he still got head, and that's the rule. That's how I understand it. I could be wrong.
I reckon Chera should get a week for a shit technique.
Yeah, very, very shocking technique. He left himself wide open. But he's in trouble. No doubt he's in trouble.
Yeah, he'll go. He'll get a week or two.
2 hours ago,
2
hours ago, I thought I was really scared it was going to be like 5 weeks. Like I thought the media were going to hang him out to dry. The amount that Chera was on the screen, I was like, this guy has not died. And I just thought the media are going to hang him out here.
As soon as there's an incident like that with the media, it is a feeding. It's like throwing a chum in the sharks.
Yeah, exactly. Like they tried to do it to Durham last week, didn't he? For the jump and the bump, the jump into the back of whichever Brisbane player it was.
Yeah, I don't remember which player. Actually, was it Zorko?
No, it was a tall Brisbane player. But anyway, they tried to do it. Like there was talk about it, and I didn't even think twice that would be a suspension. So yeah, I just think the media are going to come for him. But you know what? Mitch brought up I don't think you were here for it, but Mitch brought up earlier. He's like, if Tom Stewart, who absolutely, I don't know, I'm pretty sure who he KO'd got concussed, who he bumped got concussed, but if he got no weeks.
Nah, he hit Anderson. But he got him flush in the ribs. He didn't touch his head.
That's right. Yeah,
he hit his head on the ground on the ricochet, but he didn't touch his head on the bump. It hit him flush down the ribs. But Durham did make contact with the head, even though I think it was more shoulder. But he got head. He did get head. So he'll go a week or two.
All right, Langy. I trust Langy. Langy says, I think the first contact was shoulder on shoulder, and his back brushed Chera's left eye. No concussion, free at most. Okay, and Langy's a wonderful Carlton supporter, so I trust him. A very, very level-headed Carlton supporter. So okay, shoulder to shoulder, brush Chera's left eye. Okay, I trust you, Langy. Thank you.
If he gets more than 2 weeks, I will be as angry as I was when they paid that free deliberate goal to deliver it over the line against
All right.
Martin in the first quarter.
I'm sorry. I've had just about enough now. I've had enough.
Of me or of everything?
Not you, of me in the comments. I've had enough.
Oh, me. Sorry, I thought you.
As in at me. He's off.
No, you got to get rid of all the Carlton trolls.
Guys, I didn't get rid of him earlier because I don't want to come across as someone who just gets rid of trolls. But you know what? This past week, I have had the most sensational, incredible Carlton fan representatives connecting with me, messaging me in the chat. And so you know what? My tolerance for anyone who's just here to bait and bite is very short. And this guy just absolutely called me lady. Sorry, goodbye. And he's been baiting everyone in the chat. So I'm sorry I didn't do it earlier. But thank you. You've all been going at him nicely. So thank you very much. And yes, well done, KP. That was a very good call. Sorry, James. I just had to veer there because he just said he doesn't even agree with you, lady. And also, he's clearly not watching because he called me out and said Pitternet didn't even play. Well, were you listening to Noel and me? We were talking about the freaking VFL, you idiot.
Pitnet. I thought Pitnet smashed Vigo today. Vigo was pretty good around the ground, but Carlton in the VFL torched us in out of the middle all day.
Oh.
We did pretty well to get as close as I thought.
So,
I think
all right.
Vigo
So Sardis then. Sardis.
I thought Sardis was poor.
Wow.
I don't know what his stats were. I haven't looked at stats, but I didn't think he was effective at all. I actually couldn't think of a single midfielder for Essendon in the VFL who was effective. I think we did pretty well to get where we were. McMahon looked good. Smart did some really good things. Vigo, I like Vigo. He competes, and around the ground he was really, really good. But as soon as there was a body contest, Pitnet mauled him.
Yeah. So all right,
but
tell me
tonight
about
was the matchup he would have been better against a De Koning as opposed to a big body ruckman.
All right, tell me about Liam McMahon. Could he come in next week?
Yes, he could. Yes, he could. I like him.
Tell me more. I know he went into the back line. Noel told us he did go into the back line. How did he look when he went back?
I didn't see that. I'll be honest. You know what I'm like at the VFL. You're the same. We get a bit chatty. I don't remember. I don't remember. The usual VFL crew up on the wing. I don't remember seeing McMahon much in the back line at all. But when he's forward, he knows how to play. May looked like someone who was playing his first game for a new team. It got better as the game went on, but he is a big boy.
Love it.
And he's I liked what I saw. He just looked like he was just still.
He looked a bit nervous to me.
No, he did. He took some good grabs in the second quarter, in particular. Kicked a goal, hit the post. Hit the post with another. Showed enough for me to think could be onto something there.
And the last one
who had the angry pills today. In the VFL. Jai Menzies was fighting everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, Jai Menzies and Oscar Smart both had the angry pills today.
I mean, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it.
The last one I want to know about, Blackiston. He played in the back.
Yeah, yes. Do you know, he reminds me of the way he moves. He reminds me of Blixarves. He played in the back line, and I don't know if there's ever played in the back line before, but I thought he was really good. I don't remember seeing him in a single centre bounce. Okay. He may have, but I don't remember seeing. It was pretty much all Vigo, and he played centre half back the whole game. I was quite impressed with Blackiston, considering it's a new role for him.
I mean, that's well. Great. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I like what I saw from him. He's a good pickup.
Yeah, he's he looks a bit more mobile than what I thought he'd be. He got a few I only could watch the first quarter, but I've got a few ground ball pickups that I thought,
he's agile, he's mobile for a guy his size. No, I thought he was quite good.
My question, and Felix, you probably could tell me this, but and James, like, what's his tank like? Could he come in and play ruck? Like, I mean, obviously with 2 meter Peter support, but could he come in and play at the game for us and tank wise be good? Okay.
Today, the first time I've seen him play, but I didn't see anything that would make me think that he couldn't.
Okay.
I've got to say, though, highlight of my game at the VFL today, apart from introducing Meg to her first ever visit to the spiritual home of the Essendon Footy Club when she was down, was
meeting
meeting the
Noel.
great man. I did meet Noel, but I did meet the great man Felix today, though.
Ah, legend.
Good egg.
Great egg. I'd say great egg.
Do you know what? I reckon it's about time I let you talk to someone else. What do you reckon?
I think it's about time that I shut shop. I think we've been going just under 2 hours now, so that's about my limit. She's absolutely running downhill. But thank you, James, for giving us a rundown. Absolutely love the VFL rundown, so thank you. And I'm so glad that you got to experience a pre-game experience.
When you have a look at the videos, my daughter absolutely loved every second of it. It was really good. I'll see you on Tuesday.
Yes, you will. Take it easy.
See ya.
Good night. Jez, Blackiston looked raw, but gee whiz, he moves nicely. Yes, that's what kind of surprised me about him. Much more mobile than what I thought he'd be, which is great for a ruckman. Oliver Blackiston, I thought he was great. Yes. All right, let me just jump back up. I don't want to miss anybody that I haven't said hello to. Brett, you're saying about the trains too. Yeah, if anybody who listened to the forecast will know that we had a question about public transport, and I was arguing for the against and saying why public transport is the root of all evil, and that I'd be happy to walk 3 kilometers rather than catch public transport. And you were all just validating my opinion. Hey, J-Baggers, how are you? Well done on your win tonight. Here in peace. Thank you. Appreciate that. For every Blues supporter I was near, we won but lost. Yes. Your coach clearly asked for more of your side after quarter time. They responded. Our players went into their shell. Yeah, look, that feels like an incredible summation, J-Baggers. Yeah, I don't think I learned any more about Carlton tonight. And that's what's confusing. You know, in the first quarter, they looked so free and so, you know, out of their heads. And then, you know, we put a minuscule more pressure on and they just retreated from what they were doing and it was working. So, yeah, interesting to hear what you think about where Carlton went wrong, or did it say more about Essendon? Hey, here are my faves, Tammy and Nick. Oh, your voice sounds... I know. I'm so sorry. There was a lot of screaming happening. Hate to lose those guys, but in the long run, Bombers will have gained more than we lost. Yeah, feels like that. Certainly feels like that. Look, do we hate losing? Yes, especially when we've come back from a deficit and they look so plucky and full of confidence. But I think we all know realistically where we're heading, right? I think we know where we're at, don't we? Daniel, thank you for being here, Daniel. 100% Johnson is great. Yeah, I think we've got something there. There's definitely enough to say between him and Clark. I'm excited. Giving some love to Laverty Assassin. Good on you. He fights tooth and nail and bleeds black and red. Yep. But by fuck, he's prone to a brain fade. This is the thing about him. It's probably the only thing. The brain fades. I mean, he gets a pass, obviously, at the moment, but... Mate, who picks the official AFL site's best players? I don't think. Yes, facts. Never. They get them wrong. I reckon they watch the first half, get it done, because you think they'd watch a lot of footy, right? I reckon they just watch the first half and call it. Yeah. Alrighty. Thanks, Super Dunk. Appreciate you being here. Thanks, LJ. Good to meet you officially face to face. Absolutely loved you. Moby. Exactly. Hey, Hey, KP, it was so good having you here. You were coming in with the absolute gold. Thank you so much for sticking up against the troll. First-time viewer. This year feels like a free hit, so enjoying this, but would hate to be in Carlton position in 3 years. Preach. Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if Tassie comes in as it should. Placey, hey Placey, umps wanted a Blues win. I mean, it did feel like that. We hope not to. We try not to blame the umpires, don't we? It's a bit But I tell you what, some of those calls, I'm sure there were dubious calls for the Blues too, and I'll have to watch it on the replay. But some of our calls felt outrageous, like, I don't know. We'll see on the replay and we'll confirm. Yeah? Who's going to watch the replay? Anybody? Just me? Because I got to bring you the content? Not gotta, get to bring you all the content. Anybody else going to watch the replay? Thank you, team. Thank you, family. It has been a pleasure, as always. Every week I get to connect face-to-face with new people, and it is an absolute pleasure. I'm sure you all know that I love the social aspect of it, and I love meeting new people, and it's coming from such an incredibly genuine, authentic place, and I'm just absolutely loving it. So, all right, a few people saying they may watch it. I think a few of you might watch a quarter or two. Yeah? Yeah, we'll see. All right, thank you, Mariella. Thank you for being here as always. Absolutely appreciate you. Jade, you'll watch the replay. I know you will. All right, everybody, goes without saying that I'll say it, I'll get it over and done with, and then I'll shut up. But it goes without saying to please, if you haven't, hit the subscribe. I don't know what I'm up to now, but I'm sure you all have subscribed, so this is probably useless telling you because you're all the legends who already have subscribed. But I've got to be close to that 1,000 mark. So that will be another little milestone for the channel, and it's all thanks to you. So once again, as always, huge love to every single one of you, and I mean that genuinely. You've made this month and a half absolutely incredible and an incredible experience. I wasn't sure how this was going to go or what to expect, but it surpassed the expectations. So thank you. I'm going to go give my voice a well-earned rest. Take care. Enjoy your public holiday. For everybody who gets to enjoy it tomorrow in Melbourne, enjoy it, and you will get your what day is it? Actually, I think you will get your I'll try and do the review tonight. It might be a day late, so you might get it Tuesday and the forecast. Oh, who bloody knows at this point? All right, I'm going. Good night, everyone.